Hey everybody. Last couple days haven't been good days for me or my family. This morning I got a call. And I know you guys have heard me talk about him many times. You've heard me talk about my dad and being in the Korean War and everything. Well, I got woke up this morning with a phone call that he had passed last night. Now, I woke up about 1:30 last night for some reason, couldn't go back to sleep. But we've been worried about my dad for a while. He's been hooked up on oxygen, and like I said, he's 90. I know I've told you guys that before. But he was hooked up on oxygen there just about a week and a half ago or so. He was taken back to the hospital. And they usually do a breathing treatment on him. He's done this, several times because he's got COPD real bad. He had half a lung removed probably 40 years ago. He'd been through a double bypass and a quadruple bypass a few years later. Had hips removed, shoulders replaced, been through all kinds of things, man. He was legally blind, couldn't drive, couldn't hardly walk anymore. He was pretty much stuck to his bedroom because he couldn't breathe well. He had to stay near the oxygen anyway. But he wasn't living on the oxygen 100% of the time or nothing. But yeah, I got a call on the 21st of December that my dad finally passed away. Now, a couple of days ago, he started having problems with breathing, and the hospice started saying, that his breathing, he couldn't get enough oxygen. His oxygen count was down around 50, it should be up around 90. And even if they turned the oxygen up full blast, he wasn't getting enough oxygen. So we all knew it was coming, and it was lucky. I didn't get to make it, but about 90% of the family made it down there. Me and my brother couldn't make it. Now, I don't know where my brother is, but he don't even know yet. Last time we heard, he was going to Washington State. But who knows? People, this man, first half of my life, put me through a hell most people couldn't understand. But I also didn't understand the life that he had been through, and he lived through the Chosin Reservoir battles in the Korean War, which was worse than anything I could ever even imagine. He's also a decorated combat vet in that war that he never even told us about. We never even knew it. We knew he was in the war, but he never talked about it. He never told us nothing. It destroyed him. He was 19 years old. But this man, in his last 45, 50 years, changed. I forgave him for everything. And I really didn't need to. Because he made me who I am today. He was a part of it. I had to go through what I went through in the first half of my life in order to be who I am in the second half. So he was a part of that, 100%. But I didn't understand this until later in life. And I was lucky. I was lucky. I was able to fix it. So we had a good relationship the last half of his life. They took down my my regular YouTube channel, or I would have been able to vent on that a little bit over the last couple of days. I would have been able to call up on my people who pray with me when I need to. I couldn't do none of that because YouTube taking me down. Facebook has taken me out. MySpace took me out a long time ago. I mean, they basically shutting me down on all my shit. But today I did get to spend time with my family. They all came. They were all at work. My family up in Ohio, anyway. Rest of my family that's down in Alabama, they were down there with my dad. But my family up here, as soon as they found, I texted them. When I got the call, they all came. And I needed that. Oh, my granddaughter. That got me through today. Having my son, my daughter, my wife, my daughter-in-law surrounding me today, that got me through today. "2020 is not going to be forgotten. Not in my lifetime. lost my country, my rights, my freedoms. And my father. I don't know, people. Is any of this even worth it? Are any of you even going to listen? Any of you even care? These people are fixing to dope you up with something that you don't even have a clue at what it is. My dad in the last month and a half probably had, he was scared to death. He was scared to death of that damn test. That coronavirus test. He didn't want to do it. They forced it on him twice. Or they told him he could just go home and die. Even though he took it, he still went home to die. They didn't have to give him that test, people. But they forced it on him twice. Not just once, twice. There was no need for it. The man didn't leave his bedroom. My mom didn't leave the house. You people keep believing what you're being told. And I'm not telling you right now they had anything to do with my dad's death in any way, shape, or form. I am not telling you that. He died. He lived 90 years, people. He was born the year after the Great Depression started. He was born in 1930. His first 10 or 11 years of his life was the Great Depression. Him and his brothers were adopted or put into foster care. I can't say a home. They were put into a school where they adopt people out, kids out from, in the Great Depression. And a family and it was a good family that adopted them. I can never, even my dad never talked bad about them. But the reason why him and his two brothers were adopted by this family is because they had a tobacco farm and they needed some people to help them with their farm. So they adopted my dad and his two brothers, and they cared for them. They gave them everything they needed, and when they got, my dad loved them. I don't know about his brothers; they never really mentioned it, but my dad loved them, and he's seen a lot. He went through a lot. I didn't know it. Until I got older. That's why you guys, man, you think you know your parents. You ain't gonna know your parents until you're in your 40s or 50s, and if they live that long. And even if they don't live that long, you still won't know unless you know people that knew them and know their background to know what demons they had. You don't know what other people have wrong with them, what they've been through. You have no clue. And, I didn't like my dad for a long time until I understood what he went through, and I still can't even imagine what my dad went through in the war. When they found my dad, there was 25 people of his battalion left. They were all frozen. Their knees and hands were frozen from crawling around on the ground trying to hide from the Chinese. And the Marines are the ones that came in and saved them. But the Marines, every time the Marines would get somewhere near, even close to them, they was shooting at them. They was shooting at anything that moved because they was shooting to survive. And finally, a Marine crawled in close enough to my dad that he yelled out, "Stop shooting at us. We are the United States Marines. We're here to save you." And my dad and them started yelling out, "Stop fire, stop fire." And the 25 of them stopped firing. And he loves Marines. He was in the Army. He loves Marines for that. He loved the Marines for that. It took me a long time watching a lot of videos of what he went through in that war, because there's videos out there, people. You can see these videos. Look up Chosin Reservoir. You won't even believe that. Frozen. It was so cold. But people, we cannot allow them to continue to do what they're doing. We cannot allow it. If the face masks work, then why do you need the 6 feet? If the 6 feet work, then why do you need the mask? If the mask and the 6 feet work, then why do you need the lockdown? And if the mask, the 6 feet, the lockdown all work, then why do you need the vaccine? One easy question. All we're looking for is an answer. And where do we stop? If the vaccine don't work, where are we going next, people? Where are we going next? They rolled out miracle vaccines, they're calling it miracle vaccines. And they've got the technology that they can do testing that used to take 2 to 5 years or 10 years. They can do it in months now. That's our technology. How that works, nobody knows but them. People, you cannot keep trusting what you're being told. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. They're going to shut down this channel. There's no doubt. But it's not going. It wouldn't matter anyway. Even if they keep my channel up, they're taking all my subs away. They won't let nobody see my shit. It don't matter. But they will shut me down just like they did everybody else. What everybody's trying to do now is to save what they do have, not really put nothing on it, because they know if they do, and it's the truth, they're just going to be shut down. So they're just going to lose their channel. So it's become a joke, people, and you're going to keep letting it happen. You're going to. Well, I'm getting fed up. I'm getting fed up. May God bless us all, folks. That's the only way we're getting out of this. These people you think are your representatives, they're not even godly. Make no mistakes, people. I love you, and so does God. Good day.